All right. Hi, you guys. Thanks for being here today in mid-November, about halfway through the month. Like, where's the time going? I'm not sure. But right now in the industry, and we were just talking about that before we started recording, right now in the industry is our slow time. We're coming into Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and people kind of check out mentally in regards to starting a business during this time. So this is a very important time for us to be sowing the seeds. We use these analogies all the time, but this is a time for us to be sowing the seeds for success, for people to join us come New Year. I've had so many people in the past few weeks say, let me get through the holidays and then we'll think about this. We'll talk more about this. And I get it. Of course, we want them to just like hurry up and get onto it because we understand that so much can happen between now and the new year if you're putting the work in. But, some people need to be in the right mental space to sign up for something new because we all know that it's kind of hard to get started, right? There's a lot of information that comes at us. We need to maybe alter our existing schedule to fit training in and those types of things. So don't be discouraged by those people who are saying, I can't do it now. I want to wait until the new year. I know it can be frustrating for us to hear that. But just think of them as like money in the bank, right? They're sitting there, they're waiting for us to, we're waiting for the withdrawal on them. They are our money in the bank. So those people who are saying that say, great, this is exciting. I can't wait to help you get started come New Year. When would be the best time for us to reconnect? This way, they're setting the date for the reconnection, and it's not like you're being this pesky salesman and, getting back with them. Of course, we're supposed to follow up with them, but when they set the date, then that responsibility and that choice is on them, and they're expecting us to reach out to them. So when they set the date, make sure that you're following up on that date. And if it doesn't work for you, say, hey, I'm traveling that day or whatever. Can we meet up the second instead of the first? Whatever. So set that expectation and follow up. And I think we're going to see a lot of people joining us after the first of the year. I remember pre-COVID, it was like right before COVID reared its ugly head. There was February of that year was like massive for our team. It was bonkers. And that's kind of normal to have January, February, March very, very active in network marketing. So be prepared for that and just keep sowing those seeds. Like I said, keep following up, keep in touch with them, even though they don't want to join until January potentially. That doesn't mean you shouldn't follow up with them in the meantime. I would suggest even at least, maybe every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, just to pop in and say hi or say, hey, that post you did about your new puppy was amazing. I bet that's going to be fun. Something to stay in touch with them, to stay fresh in their mind. Now, in regards to Go for No, we posted 2 different links to that book in the Launching Leaders chat. And I also posted the PDF of the book in the chat if you don't want to purchase the hard copy. Go for No is a really great book to help you understand that hearing no is not a bad thing. Hearing no actually helps us get closer to the yeses, which sounds strange, but it's true. And here in the book, Go for No, it tells us that hearing no is not about us. They're not saying no to me. They're not saying no to you. They're saying no to the opportunity. It's no different than if you were to be a waitress or something. And at the end of the meal, you ask the person, hey, do you want some dessert? No, we don't want any dessert. You're not going to go in the back and cry about that as a waitress because you're just offering the thing. It's not right for them. And you're moving on to the next customer, asking them if they want the dessert. So there's a Go for No checkoff list with 100 sections, 100 squares to mark off no. And you might be surprised how difficult it is to get a hard and fast no. A lot of times when you hear no, it means not right now. It means I'm busy at the moment. It means I'm building a house and can't concentrate on this. It means I need more information. A lot of times it's just that they need more information, so they're saying no because of that fear of not knowing what to expect. So when people tell me no, I say, okay, that's no problem at all. Just curious, are you not interested in earning an income in the travel industry, or is it just bad timing? Majority of the time, it is just bad timing. Now, if they answer that they're not interested in the industry, take them off your list because you don't want to beat that dead horse. But if they say it's bad timing, again, ask them when would be a good time to revisit this and then follow up with them in the meantime for that. So on that Go for No list, the challenge is to get 100 no's by the end of the year or per month or however long you want to do it. I started doing this and it was really hard to get that list filled out. I never did complete it yet. So keep going for those no's, mark them off. And when you get a no, be excited about that. If you're talking to somebody and you go to follow up with them and they've blocked you, you can consider that a no. That's a no. But if they're not blocking you and if they're, still responding to you at some point, it's not a no. They are just needing more time or more information or more validation, that this business is something that's legit. Because let's be honest, there's a lot of scams out there. So sometimes a no might mean they need to be in a three-way phone call or chat with another leader and to get that validation that it's not just like me sitting home in my pajamas doing this business on my own. We have a larger team of support and, the greater team of our company. So I encourage you to either, get the PDF or the hard copy of that book and read it. It's a very quick and easy read. And print out the form for the Go for No checkoff list, the 100 no's. And at the bottom, there's also a section for yeses, which is always exciting. I wish I had my deck of cards with me right now because Stephanie Cloutier in the past has done a really great visual on people who we prospect. So we know there's 52 cards in a deck, right? So what she does in this visual is she'll pull a card, and if it's a number card, that just means that they're not interested, right? Or that they're thinking about or whatever. If you get a card with a face on it, that means they're like a hot lead. And if you get an ace, that means the person signed up. So she flips the card and it's a 2. Nope. It's a 4. Nope. It's a king. Oh, put him in the hot list. And she goes through the whole deck and shows you that you've got to work through the numbers to get those 4 aces that are in that deck. And so if you ever, if you come across that training of hers, I would recommend that you watch it. It's really great. But it's just showing like you're just flipping through these cards and you're going through the motions and you're doing the numbers because the numbers matter. If we're not talking to enough people, we're not going to have the results that we want. I have people who are like, I'm not having success in this business. And I say, okay, how many people did you talk to this week? How many videos did you send out? And either one, they're not tracking it, so they don't know, or two, their numbers are so low that they can't expect the results that they want based on the numbers that they're producing. So keep your numbers up. It is a crazy numbers game. We don't treat people like numbers, but we need the numbers to get to the levels that we want in recruiting. And it goes for travel clients as well. We need to go through, sometimes many travel client prospects before we find a client that really is a good fit for us and we for them. So track what you want to change, go for no. And if you're struggling with, getting people to, join the team with you, consider how many people you're joining per month. Excuse me, consider how many people you're talking to per month, per week, per day. I challenge you to send out at least 3 videos per day. Sometimes you get, a bumper crop, and sometimes you don't have a few, you have a few days where you don't send anything out, but it's a numbers game and you need to track it and you need to know what it is you're doing so that you can say, okay, this week I didn't enroll somebody. Let's look back at the last few weeks and see how much information I sent out. And if it's low, we know that's why we didn't enroll somebody. So what we want to change, we need to track. And I just encourage you guys not to take things personally in this business, whether it's with current business partners, people that we're prospecting, because it's not about us personally. They're not saying no to us. They're not quitting on us. They're either saying no to the opportunity or they're quitting on themselves. There was someone on the team who messaged me the other day, very discouraged that, a person who thought that was going to be great, they had quit. And I says, you need to remember that this person did not quit on you. And she was really heartbroken about it and saying, oh, I helped her and all this. And we've all probably heard this conversation or even said it ourselves. But, I just explained, she didn't like disregard or say no to you. She quit on herself and her dreams and her opportunity. And the gal on the team was like, wow, I really need to hear that because I had taken it personally. And having that person quit dropped me down to bronze. And so she was very frustrated, understandably. But just try not to take it personally. There's a really great book called Emotional Intelligence that if you do take things too personally, this might be a book that you'll want to read. It's a quick, easy read as well, but it lets us know that things are not always about us and, what we're doing. It's what the people are experiencing in their own lives. So get those books, get those 100 no's. It might take you longer than you think, but we want to just make sure that we're putting the work in to get toward the yeses that we're after. And keep in mind too, people, like I said, we're working on our numbers, but people are not a number. So treat people like human beings. Be respectful to them. Understand that life things come up. People move. They have deaths in the family. They have things that happen, and we want to be sensitive to that with still giving them that push to move forward when it's appropriate. Okay. So, does anyone have any questions in regards to any of those topics? Okay. Yeah, just keep going. A no is not a hard, fast no unless you're blocked. They tell you to drop off the face of the earth. Even if they ghost you for years, that still may not be a no. I had a lady who I thought she was like going to join. She was great. And then she quit responding. And I kept following up with her long time, long time, long time. No responses. It was like a total ghost session. And finally, she reached out and she's like, yeah, I've been going through a lot of stuff in my life, but I'm ready now to look into this more. And so it wasn't about me. It was stuff that she was dealing with. Maybe she had taken a social media break, who knows? But it wasn't about me. I was doing my part by following up and providing her the information available. And it just needed to happen in her own time frame. So keep that in mind. But I think that January, February, March is going to be huge in this business because I know a lot of people are doing big things right now as far as, laying the groundwork for success. And we just want to keep that up. So, and yes, Marianne, I just saw your chat that training that Stephanie did with the cards. That's a really good one. It's good to have that visual, I think a lot of us are visual learners. So with that, I'll stop the recording.